Hey, hi. Rowan here. I know I've done 2 of these little, like, haul vlogs in the last week already, but I've been reading today Serotonin by Michel Houellebecq, and just have been enthralled by it, and couldn't get it out of my craw that I wanted to pick up. It's from the library. I wanted to pick up my own copy of it, and also pick up more books by Michel Houellebecq, because from what I've read from people whose opinion I trust, this is his worst book, and I love it. So if his other books are better, then I need to read them too. I also have been wanting to pick up a copy of Interior Chinatown. So the closest big independent bookstore to me is MAGERS and Quinn, which is in uptown Minneapolis. It's about a 15-20 minute drive from here. So we're going to go there and see if we can find some Michel Houellebecq, see if we can find Interior Chinatown, see what else we can find. It's probably the biggest independent bookstore in the cities, except for maybe Midway Books in St. Paul. It's a great store, so let's go see what there is to see.
Had the high top jellies, shooting skelly. Motherfuckers was all friendly, lounging at the barbecues, drinking brews with the neighborhood crews, hanging on the avenues. Turn your pages to 1993. It's getting smoked, G, believe me.
Alright, I found somewhere to park. It's kind of hard to find parking in this neighborhood. This has always been a very trendy neighborhood of Minneapolis, but in the last 10 years, you can see these upscale condo developments have just taken over this neighborhood and made it this sort of bourgeoisie nightmare. Very trendy, very cool. Not my favorite neighborhood to hang out in. Here's Hennepin Avenue. It's one of the main drags of the city. Just a block down from here is the historic Uptown Theater. A very cool single-screen movie theater. Plays art house movies and midnight movies. And here is MAGERS and Quinn. This is the clearance section. There's Hummingbird Salamander. Just came out. Poetry. Huge poetry section. Here's some stuff by, I just mentioned her in a previous video, my video about Stoner. Carrie Waterman is one of my professors in college. Fantastic poet. think most of her stuff is out of print except for this one, which is a new and selected. Came out a couple years ago. I've been here filming. I just made plans with my friend to do a buddy read of Sorrowland, because we both want to read it. River Solomon. I'm going to pick that up too. The fiction section is like a labyrinth. I love it. Alright, that was a great success. They didn't have a copy of Interior Chinatown that I could find. I didn't, I habitually avoid bothering the staff of places to help me look for things. But, yeah, couldn't find a copy of Interior Chinatown, but found a couple Houellebecq books, including Serotonin. Yeah, excited for this buddy read that sort of sprang upon me via text message while I was in the store. It was like perfect timing because I was able to buy the book while I was there. Let's head home, and I'll go over the things I bought. I got a couple things in the mail too, so we can talk about that as well.
I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle. Another drug to juggle. Another day, another struggle. I know how it feel the way done fucked up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the users, selling blunts to all the losers, mad Buddha abusers. But they don't know about the stress-filled days. Baby on the way, how it feels to pay. That's why I sip Tanqueray, so I can reminisce and wish I wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, sipping on 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I got P.A.I.D. That's why my moms hate me.
Alright, I'm home. Let's go over the stuff I bought. I've got a couple things here I'm going to go over quickly that I got in the mail in the last couple days that I haven't talked about. First up, needs a little introduction. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This is just something that has sort of plagued me, that I've never read it, and so I picked up a copy of it for cheap. Hope to read it soon. This is a book that's been kind of haunting me as well. We got White Noise by DeLillo. I read this book when I was in high school, and enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't remember that much about it. The more I think about it, the more it seems like a book that I would probably enjoy even more as a grown-up. So it's about a man named Jack Gladney who teaches Hitler studies at a liberal arts college in Middle America. Jack and his fourth wife, Babette, bound by their love, fear of death, and four ultra-modern offspring, navigate the usual rocky passages of family life to the background babble of brand-name consumerism. Then, a lethal black chemical cloud floats over their lives, an airborne toxic event unleashed by industrial accident. The menacing cloud is a more urgent and visible version of the white noise engulfing the Gladney family. Radio transmissions, sirens, microwaves, ultrasonic appliances, and TV murmurings pulsing with life, yet suggesting something ominous. So this is, considered one of the best books of the 80s. There's a band, Airborne Toxic Event, that's named after this book. And then finally, from the mail, we've got 300 Million by Blake Butler. I recently read Blake Butler's story collection, Scorch Atlas. This is a novel. It is fairly long. It's almost 450 pages. Is this a signature? Could be. Or maybe it's just the random scribblings of an insane person. Oh, the epigraph in this book is from 2666. That's great. Oh, and it's split into 5 parts, like 2666. And one of the parts is the part about the killing. So as I remember, this is about a sort of Manson family-esque cult. Gretch Gravy, a cryptic psychopath with a small army of burnout followers, and E.N. Flood, the troubled police detective tasked with unpacking and understanding his mind. Butler is a writer of experimental fiction. The Goodreads reviews on this are kind of all over the place because I think this book is probably really weird and probably hard to read. Like here we've got some stuff that's like redacted. A lot of empty space in the pages, I am noticing. But I'm very excited to read this. I really liked Scorch Atlas a lot. and I'm really interested to see what he does with more length in a full-length novel. I paid full, not full, near full, yeah, near full, cover price for Sorrowland by River Solomon. While I was at the bookstore, I started texting. I got a text from a friend of mine, and I had sent her my Friday Reads wrap-up video because we were talking, and I was like, oh, I've been doing this booktube thing. And she was like, oh my god, it's so fun. I want to do one. We should read a book together, maybe make a video about it. And I was like, that sounds like such a fun idea. I would love to do that. And so I left it up to her to pick, and she was like, you know what, I just got Sorrowland from the library, and I saw it's on your TBR on Goodreads, so let's read that. So I picked it up. This is recently published. It's got quotes on the back from Roxane Gay and Marlon James, which is pretty cool. Vern, 7 months pregnant and desperate to escape the strict religious compound where she was raised, flees for the shelter of the woods. There she gives birth to twins and plans to raise them far from the influence of the outside world. But even in the forest, Vern is a hunted woman, forced to fight back against the community that refuses to let her go. She unleashes incredible brutality far beyond what a person should be capable of, her body racked by inexplicable and uncanny changes. To understand her metamorphosis and to protect her small family, Vern has to face the past and, more troublingly, the future. Outside the woods, finding the truth will mean uncovering not only the secrets of the compound she fled, but also the violent history of the America that produced it. It is a genre-bending work of gothic fiction. Here, monsters aren't just individuals, but entire nations. Sort of speculative fiction, science fiction, allegorical science fiction. I appreciate things that are gross and have metamorphosing in them. So, excited to read this. I started reading last night from the library. This is not the library copy. Serotonin by Michel Houellebecq. And I liked it so much so far that I was like, I want to get more books by him and get this book because I know that I'm going to want to keep it. So I did get that. I also got The Possibility of an Island, which is an earlier book of his. Serotonin came out in 2019. Possibility of an Island came out in 2005. The back of the book doesn't tell you what it's about. It just says that it's an important book that you should read. I hate that shit. Anyways, Serotonin so far is really fascinating. I'll read the back of it. Deeply depressed by his romantic and professional failures, aging hedonist and agricultural engineer Florent Claude Labrouste feels that he is dying of sadness. He hates his young girlfriend, and the feeling is almost certainly mutual. His career is pretty much over, and he has to keep himself thoroughly medicated to cope with day-to-day life. Suffocating in the rampant loneliness, consumerism, hedonism, and sprawl of the city, Labrouste decides to head for the hills, returning to Normandy, where he once worked promoting regional cheeses, and where he was once in love, and even, it now seems, happy. There he finds a countryside devastated by globalization and by European agricultural policies, and encounters farmers longing, like Labrouste himself, for an impossible return to a simpler age. As the farmers prepare for what might be an armed insurrection, it becomes clear that the health of one miserable body and of a suffering body politic are not so different, and that all parties may be rushing toward a catastrophe that a whole drugstore's worth of antidepressants won't make bearable. So far, I've just gotten to the point where he leaves. So I'm 65 pages in. He's mostly spent the book so far complaining about his much younger Japanese girlfriend, who he. I particularly enjoyed the section where he goes through her email and finds videos of her first getting gangbanged and then getting gangbanged by dogs. So that happened. Expect me to talk more about this book in the near future. Expect me to read The Possibility of an Island in the near future as well, because I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, that's what I picked up. I probably won't be buying any books for a long time because I don't have enough money to sustain this habit at the pace that I've been going. I've been acquiring, so I need to slow down a bit. But yeah, these haul videos are always fun to make. So whenever I do go book shopping, I plan to document it. So thanks for watching.